What is happening, YouTube? The Clippers. The Clippers, everybody. This is a beautiful month for the Clippers. The Clippers are literally undefeated. I repeat, they are undefeated, and it is glorious, man. This team has yet to lose a game. It's amazing. They have not lost one game. I repeat again. They have not lost one game. And it's not like we beat easy teams and all that. Like, no. We beat the teams, which is the following. Um, the Mavericks, which we played tonight, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Sacramento Kings, um, those teams. We really did actually beat them. Oh, the New York Knicks as well, too. Because the Knicks, they're an above average team. They're like in the middle of the pack. So we've been on a roll, man. We've been on a roll. Like we beat all these teams, and we faced some of these teams twice, especially the Mavericks and Golden State Warriors. We beat them. We did not. We have yet to lose like one game in this season. Um, it could probably happen tomorrow, unfortunately, because the Oklahoma City Thunders, they're a very good team, but this team is so resilient, and they beat the best teams, which is amazing. Um, you know, I'm just bracing for the worst. I'm not, trying to expect that, oh, we're gonna, beat the Thunders tomorrow because the Thunders, they do have a, a tremendous amount of talent. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Jed Holmgren, Josh Giddey, um, who else? J Dub. So they have a pretty stacked team. But Clippers are just on a roll, and it's so amazing to see. This team is amazing, bro. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Kawhi Leonard, he did his part. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Kawhi Leonard is reminding you that he's one of the best, man. People are so easy to write him off. People even have the nerve to say he's not top 10. I repeat, some even thought that he's not the top 10 best NBA player in the league. Kawhi Leonard, that's why I say he's the best player in the world. No one in the NBA I'm comfortably taking over Kawhi Leonard because he checks the list of everything. If you want a guy who could defend, you ask Kawhi. If you want a guy who can rebound, Kawhi can do that. If you want a guy who can play make, Kawhi to a certain extent can do that. If you want a guy who can shoot, Kawhi can do that. If you want a guy who's good with the mid range, Kawhi can do that. If Kawhi, scores inside the paint, Kawhi can do that. He has no flaws, y'all. He has no flaws. Like, in my opinion, in order to make a legit top 5 best basketball player in the world list, you have to include Kawhi Leonard in your top 5. There's nobody who's doing as good as Kawhi Leonard. And the playoff reminds you, because when it's the playoff, Kawhi reminds people who he is. And all he needs is health. That's all he needs. Some players, they actually need to work on some of the parts of their games. Like LeBron, his three-point shooting is not perfect. Anthony Davis, his motor is very suspect at times. AD, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's like when AD, he's on his game. He's one of the best. But the problem is his motor is incredibly suspect because when he's off, he kind of doesn't have the it factor that, oh, I want to get a rebound and all that. Like he has his off moments, but he is having a good season. He's having some moments that he's doing his stuff. Let's see who else. Giannis, he's amazing. He exploded for 60 points. But his weakness is his three-point shooting. If you leave Giannis open, there's a solid chance, he can miss. Of course, he can make it, but there's a chance he can miss. Steph Curry doesn't have too much weakness either, but you could probably say his defense, I guess. But even then, his defense is better than what people give credit for. But he did get kind of like scored on a lot more often than he should when he played against the Celtics. But he pulled through, so That's another player that you should have in your top five. Steph Curry. Who else? Luka Doncic. Defense could be a flaw. Defense is a flaw, and his free throws. Um, who else? Um, Let me think. KD kind of has a similar factor of Kawhi, but he doesn't necessarily check every single of the checklist because his defense is good, but it's not a lockdown defender. Kawhi, he's perfect. I mean, he's literally perfect. All he needs is health. And Kawhi Leonard, like I said, the best basketball player in the world. No one, I'm taking over this guy. Period. Zubac, he's going back to the Zubac that we'd like to see him do. 9 rebounds, not bad. 12 points. So almost a double double. Pretty solid. Um, James Harden. James Harden, he's fitting his role too. 11 assists, 17 points, 5 rebounds. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. He had some turnovers, but other than that, he's actually doing good in the Clippers system, man. Like, when I first reacted to the trade, I didn't like the trade. Trading Robert Covington was definitely a burn because Robert Covington, he's doing his thing with the Sixers. Um, Also, as a person to kind of invest in a draft and who's kind of conservative about draft picks, I really dislike the trade at the time. Right now, I still do feel a little bit irky about it, so I'm not gonna act like you know that I was always a big James Harden trade fan. But right now, I'm gonna try my best to enjoy the moment because the Clippers or any team in general has never had a moment like this before that you go undefeated for almost for essentially a month for now. Obviously, BS is gonna happen, but so far this team's been amazing. You have yet to lose. Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, he played his role. He's not putting the star stats, but he is a pretty good role player to keep. Um, 4 rebounds, 7 points. Not bad. 1 block, 1 turnover. Um, he did solid. And Amir Coffey, he stepped up his game, man. He played 40 minutes, so he's pretty much the starting player, the replacement of Paul George. And I'll say he's doing better than I anticipated. He's not like Paul George, who's good with his handles and all that, but he hit some timely threes. He hit some rebounds. Defense is okay. He kind of fouled a lot. 3 assists, not bad. Um, Personally, I prefer the Brandon Boston minute because Brandon Boston, um, his game is pretty similar to Paul George and Brandon Ingram, or even though Tracy McGrady he has a better jump shot. He's more fluid. He can break your ankles. He's a bucket. He's harder to guard. He's definitely going to be a star. If you give him the minutes. I really wish that the Clippers eventually give him the minutes and fit him in the rotations because he's going to be special. Um, he's like a bucket, and he brings his defense too. He brings energy. Brings energy. Daniel Tice, pretty efficient, back a big. 4 for 4, perfect game. 2 rebound, 2 assists, 11 points, solid. Russ brings his defense. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. His defense is incredibly underrated. His defense was amazing. Norman Powell. Norman Powell was clutch. He was very clutch in this game. 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Should be sixth man of the year in my opinion. Arguably one of the 6 man of the year. Um, the rotations, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling it. Rotation, I felt it was way too short. I felt Ty Lue could have went a little more deep. I felt he could have plugged in, some Brandon Boston and Kobe Brown minutes or Bones Highland, some of them to kind of just, expand it. Don't have to play harder and and Kawhi and Coffee like 40 minutes. You could definitely give a little bit to Brandon Boston, let him play a little bit, or let Bones Highland or Kobe Brown, especially Kobe Brown. I know Ty Lue, he improved on playing one of the younger players compared to what he did like last year when he never gave any of them the chance. At least this time he did play a little Kobe Brown, but tonight he didn't do it. But I felt in this game we definitely could have used him for rebounding and playmaking and spot shooting, especially when the Mavs was about to make a comeback against us. But the team won, so not too much complaining that I could do. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks. Um, Grant Williams, solid rebounder, 4 assists, 9 points. Defense, was getting scored on as usual, just because how talented this team is. Um, Derrick Jones, Derrick Jones was pretty helpful for this team. He was the one that was actually scaring me. He hit some timely threes. He's very good at slashing, extremely athletic. Um, Very good piece for them. Dwight Powell, he was mediocre. Um, Luka Doncic, Luka Doncic, 28 points. He did his part. 5 turnovers. Not for 25 though, which was pretty inefficient. He kind of did what he usually would do, take all the shots, before when Kyrie joined. Dante Exum, I heard he's been solid, and he showed some flashes of that. Pretty efficient, 16 points, 6 rebounds. Pretty solid performance. Tim Hardaway Jr. played a boatload of minutes, 21 points. That guy, I swear, Tim Hardaway Jr., he always likes to hit some weird threes against us, man. I don't know what it is. He plays like prime Klay Thompson. Jaden Hardy, he's a bucket too. Um, he does his thing like a solid scoring shooting guard. Pretty good player for them. One thing that definitely sucked about the Mavs is not having Derek Lively. Derek Lively, he's been phenomenal for the Mavericks. I felt they played Derek Lively, it would have been a better fight. And who knows, they would have maybe even gotten the win because Derek Lively, he's a pretty good defender, good rebounder, brings energy. And of course, Kyrie Irving didn't play. But either way, the Clippers also didn't have Paul George. And Paul George, he's a baller, man. He when Paul George plays, he does everything. Like he's not just a scorer, he brings defense and rebounding. And I felt like in the third quarter, that's what the Clippers were missing, and Paul George would have helped a lot with that. But the Clippers, they dominated, man. Like it looked like they were about to blow the lead, but then the Clippers bounced back and dominated. If it was the Clippers just like 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago and prior, the Clippers are known for blowing leads. And as soon as starting 2021, 2022, 2023, the Clippers, they turned it towards opposite. They're known for the teams that actually makes comebacks. And that's what I'd like to see. A team that makes comebacks rather than, just blowing leads. And this Clippers is special. And the Clippers, they're definitely making a run, and we're going to win the championship. But anyways, let me know what you think about this game, man. A lot of people, they disrespect the Clippers like crazy. They're saying, the most famous thing they say against the Clippers is Luka owns the Clippers. Despite that, the Clippers always beat them in the playoffs. Um, and now, does Luka really own the Clippers? I don't think so. They dominated the Mavs. We did our thing. Um, the Mavs announcer was also talking pretty chippy as well too. I believe the first time when we did the James Harden trade, and when the Clippers were struggling, the Mavs announcer was talking about how we're just bashing James Harden, disrespecting him, saying that oh he got those teammates and just pretty much mocking him essentially. But now it's not looking good for him. It is not looking good for him, and the Clippers, oh man, we're looking dangerous. But anyways, that should end this video. Thank y'all really much for tuning in. Hopefully we beat the Thunders tomorrow. 10-game winning streak. Can we do this, Clippers? Please. But anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning in, and peace.